Alright, let's dive into this because it's a move that's got the baseball world talking, and personally, I think it's a lot more interesting than it seems on the surface. So, the Cardinals are reportedly designating Nelson Velázquez for assignment, and if you're like me, your first thought might be, why now? I mean, Velázquez isn't exactly a household name, but he's shown flashes of potential, right? What makes this really interesting is the timing. We are in August, the stretch run of the season, and teams are usually fine-tuning their rosters, not making moves that feel almost calculated. But here we are. From my perspective, this isn't just about Velázquez's performance, though, let's be honest, his numbers haven't been mind-blowing. It's about the bigger picture. The Cardinals are bringing up Everson Pereira, a waiver pickup, and that's a detail I find fascinating. Pereira isn't exactly a proven star either, so this feels less like an upgrade and more like a reshuffling of the deck. What this really suggests is that the Cardinals are either A, trying to spark some competition in the outfield, or B, testing the waters for a bigger move down the line. Personally, I lean toward the latter. One thing that immediately stands out is the fact that Velázquez is out of minor league options. That's a huge deal because it means the Cardinals can't just send him down without exposing him to waivers. And let's be real, if they designate him for assignment, there's a decent chance another team snags him. What many people don't realize is that this kind of move can backfire. You're essentially giving away a player who, despite his inconsistencies, has shown power potential. If you take a step back and think about it, this could be a risky gamble for a team that's historically been pretty conservative with their roster moves. Now, let's talk about Everson Pereira for a second. He's not exactly a household name either, but he's got some tools. The question is, does he bring enough to the table to justify cutting ties with Velázquez? In my opinion, this feels like a lateral move at best. What makes this really interesting, though, is what it says about the Cardinals' front office. Are they panicking? Or are they just being proactive? I'm leaning toward proactive, but it's hard to ignore the risk here. This raises a deeper question: what's the endgame? If the Cardinals are clearing space, who are they making room for? Is there a bigger trade in the works? Or are they just trying to shake things up in a season that hasn't gone exactly as planned? Personally, I think this is a move that's flying under the radar, but it could have some serious implications down the line. If another team picks up Velázquez and he breaks out, that's going to look like a massive oversight. On the flip side, if Pereira steps up and becomes a key piece, the Cardinals look like geniuses. But right now, it feels like a coin toss. What this really suggests is that the Cardinals are in a bit of a transition phase. They are not rebuilding, but they are also not quite contenders. Moves like this feel like they are trying to find their identity, and that's what makes this so fascinating. It's not just about Velázquez or Pereira, it's about where the Cardinals are headed as a franchise. If you ask me, this is a team at a crossroads, and moves like this are their way of figuring out which path to take. So, here's my closing thought: keep an eye on this. It might seem like a small roster move, but it could be the first domino in a much bigger shift. And if you're a Cardinals fan, or just a baseball fan in general, this is the kind of move that could define the team's future. What do you think? Is this a smart move, or are the Cardinals playing with fire? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to hear your take.